Well, hello to all of you in Yuulo land. Except it's really us that's in Yuulo land, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm back in Studio 11 after a little break, and I'm delighted to have Jaysella back in the chair.
Howdy, Barney.
Howdy yourself, how's tricks?
Well, after a brilliant Cheltenham festival, it's been back to the mill the last couple of weeks, though I've had an Easter break, so I'm raring to go for the Grand National Festival at Aintree.
You're back for the whole thing?
Yep, starting Thursday. Barney, you know the playbook. Every race, every day from Thursday until Saturday.
Great Jaysella. Can't wait for that. And what have we got on the agenda for today?
Well, you know how it is. The Grand National is the most asked about race for all of us here in the office every year, with the Gold Cup in a close second. So having given Gaelic Warrior for the Cheltenham feature, let's make it a double with the Grand National.
Yes, let's.
Well, I was joking you a bit there, Barney. It's the one race that you could close your eyes and stick the pin in and get as good a result as most tipsters. But they ask every year, so I suppose we've got to come up with the goods today.
Let's hope so.
But before we get on to that, a couple of other bits and pieces I want to mention.
Okay, what's all that?
Well, there's a couple of things I do want to go back and look at from last weekend. And first up, boy, do I have some sympathy for Callum Pritchard or what? Poor bunny. Just as he was eyeing up a race to the line with Tristan Durrell for the conditional Jockeys Championship, he goes and tries to pull up a circuit too soon at Plumpton.
Oh no!
Yep, oh no, it was Barney, 'cause the poor lamb gone and gotten himself a ban from the stewards, so that's really going to do his championship dream good, innit?
Yeah, don't sound like it was his day.
Yep, once in a lifetime blunder, I reckon. Anyway, at least we'll know that's not happening again.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the other item, Jace?
Oh yes, but this is a story with a happy ending.
Oh good, I like happy endings.
Yes, well, moving on. Barney, this is about Harry Cobden. There he is, newly installed as the J.P. McManus, #1 from next season, and over in Ireland on the Mallow, he looked on paper to have a great book of rides, 6 in all, and a few odds on favourites. So he would have been expecting a good day, but it didn't go too well when he got turned over in all of the first 5 races.
Ouch!
Yeah, ouch. The pressure over there on an Irish track must have been immense.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But just when the day could have been total disaster. Total, he gets over the line with funicular.
Bet that was a relief.
Must have been Barney. All those Irish fans taking note wouldn't have liked to have been in his shoes.
No, for sure.
But let's look ahead now to Aintree's Grand National Festival.
Yeah, I guess that's what everyone wants to know about.
Right, well, here we go. But this is more than just about who's going to win the Grand National.
Okay, how's that?
Well, there has been a big push from a certain Willie Mullins to take this prize again. I mean, it's a valuable pot, and that's how he nailed the British Trainers' Championship last year.
Is that going to happen again, Jace?
I don't think so. This year, Barney, Dan Skelton, has a big lead, but that ain't going to stop old Willie boy doing his damnedest.
No, I'm sure not.
Yep, he's going to give it everything. And at the Tuesday declaration stage, he's looking to have 9 runners of the 34, and that could even make 10 as the week goes on.
Wow!
Yep, wow. Relentless he is after a brilliant Cheltenham festival, and he's fast closing in on Gordon Elliott in the Irish Championship back home.
He means business, doesn't he?
Oh yes, Barney, this man means business.
So, what do you think of his chances this year?
Well, he got the last 2 years' winners, Nick, Rocket and I Am Maximus, and it ain't no surprise to me to see I Am Maximus sitting pretty as favourite. First in 2024, second last year, and obviously aimed at this, but Nick Rocket, 1 run in the Bluegrass Chase at Down Royal, then wrapped in cotton wool since...
Do you think he's the one?
Barney, I think he's one of the ones if you get my drift.
Okay, should I back him?
If you pick him out in the sweepstake, you could have done worse. He's the right age, 9, hasn't been over-raced, and we know he'll get round, so plenty to like.
Okay, and I Am Maximus.
Yep, we know he can get round, and he likes it here. But, these days it's such a competitive handicap, so much more so these days, and favourites don't in trend analysis have the most convincing record. So, from top weight, and at a skinny 7-1, maybe I'm tempted to look elsewhere? 'Cause this ground is going to be a bit quicker than when he won in 2024, so that could be a factor.
You mean he could be done for pace?
Yep, Barney, I can picture that, coming around the elbow, having done all the hard work, some speedier finisher, just collars in for pace. So I'm tempted to look at Grangeclare West, who I know has been aimed at this, as he won the Bobby Joe Chase at Fairyhouse. And that's a key race for Willie to prime his Grand National runners.
He won't mind the better ground then, Jace?
Nah, he'll be fine on it. So for me, it'll be interesting who jockeys him on the day. We'll find that out on Thursday, of course.
OK, if that's your Willie Mullins trio, yep, who else?
Good question, Barney. It takes some doing to win this. But for me, the most important thing is, can your horse last this trip? I mean, they're pretty big, imposing fences here at Aintree, even after all the changes, and it's a big field and can be mayhem at Canal Turn, especially if there's a loose horse. So I end up adding up all these factors and then ask myself, is this a horse that can act on the ground?
So a bit the other way round from the Mandarin's method, 'cause he always says ground and trip first.
Yeah, just for this race, I reckon you've got to have a horse that can look after himself in a big field, can stay all day, and a jockey worth his salt, 'cause there's no Sam Whaley-Cohen these days.
Yeah, he was the man. Capped of a brill career with a win on Noble Yates at 50-1.
Fairy tale stuff, Barney. And worth remembering, there's always a story in the Grand National winner.
OK, Jace, I think you're leading me up to your pick.
Well, I can't see why Haiti Couleurs can't win, given a trouble-free couple of circuits.
OK, you going to sell that to me?
Well, I might have a bit of bias, 'cause he was my pick for the Welsh Grand National back in December, but he won that with plenty to spare from O'Connell. He stays all day, 9 years old, has won 6 of 9 starts over fences, and is a course winner here at Aintree.
OK, sounds pretty convincing.
Oh yes, and there's a story, 'cause if Sean Bowen's aboard as usual, Rebecca Curtis, the trainer, used to babysit him as a toddler.
No?
True, Barney. Would I kid you?
OK, I'm on.
Good boy, gonna hope he does the business yet again.
Anything else, Jace?
Well, Iroko has been trained for this, 4th last year, so has to be on my shortlist, but wasn't totally convincing at Cheltenham last month in the Ultima. Dan Skelton's got Panic Attack running from a featherweight 10.5, but a mare hasn't won this since Nickel Coin in 1951. So it's either high time one did, or it's a trend you take note of and avoid. Your choice there. And for the Irish, Conor King's Oscar's brother could have a big run if taking to these fences, but he's unexposed and progressive with a nice mark at 10.13. At bigger odds, Jerry Callum could be involved, and especially so if there's any rain about. I think that's probably it, Barney. Let's hope at least a couple of those make the frame, eh?
Let's hope so. Jace, and thanks so much for all the insight.
Yep, you are more than welcome. Nice to be back here.
Great to have you back, and I guess all the best for the whole festival.
Yeah, we'll be here for the whole thing, starting on Thursday.
Great, I'll be looking forward to it.
Yep, I'll catch up soon, Barney, so ciao for now.
Yeah, ciao for now, and thanks again. It's been great.